To address the issue of modern slavery within countries that use a high percentage of migrant labor, the International Labor Organization and the International Organization for Migration, working closely with the private sector, have outlined practical guiding principles for businesses. 1. Ensure that recruiter agreements include principles that explicitly prohibit the use of trafficking in persons, forced labor, and child labor. 2. Ensure that labor recruiters comply with all legislation on labor migration and policies related to the recruitment of migrant workers in the jurisdictions of origin, transit, and destination countries. 3. Ensure that labor recruiters have policies to ensure that their recruitment activities treat migrant workers with dignity and respect, free from harassment or any form of coercion. 4. Encourage all manufacturing facilities to recruit migrants through legal channels that do not result in the potential for debt bondage. Companies should have a clear policy related to the payment of recruitment fees and related costs. 5. Ensure that labor recruiters do not require migrant workers or their family members to provide a monetary deposit or other collateral as a condition of employment. 6. Ensure that manufacturing partners and contractors/subcontractors treat migrant workers fairly. This can be done by having third-party auditors carefully monitor the agencies that provide contract labor, especially across borders, blacklisting those known to have used abusive practices and modern slavery. 7. Ensure that all migrant workers have written contracts in a language that they can easily understand, specifying their rights with regard to payment of wages, overtime, retention of identity documents, and other issues related to preventing modern slavery. If the workers are illiterate, the contract should be read to them before it is signed. 8. Ensure that labor recruiters do not confiscate documents, wages, or personal belongings that are used to limit the workers' freedom of movement. 9. Ensure that the labor recruiters maintain all personal data that they collect, receive, and use as strictly confidential, and ensure that this data is not communicated to any third party without the prior informed consent of the worker. 10. Ensure that if modern slavery is found among migrant workers, the victims are provided support services and are not punished for immigration-related offenses during the identification procedure. Immediate termination of a contract can sometimes make the issue even more difficult. 11. Ensure that migrant workers have effective access to remedy without fear of recrimination, reprisal, or dismissal. This might include internal grievance procedures of the labor recruiter or the employer. If these steps are taken, significant progress can be made to help reduce modern slavery among migrant workers.